3 out of 4 isn't bad, and that was my record for last round, the conference semifinals. I had the Warriors over the Lakers. I mean, I thought Stephen Clay could actually put the string together multiple good games, but as we saw, it's a big old
Nope.
yeah. So anyway, we're here for the conference finals. It's finally here, the Western Conference Finals and the Eastern Conference Finals. And before I get going too far into this, please stop bringing up the bubble. These two are not the same teams from the bubble. Yes, they have some players still on the team, but I don't understand the correlation between this and the bubble. People saying that the bubble, the bubble matters or whatever they're trying to say on my timeline. Okay, the bubble's over. These teams are good teams, so I don't get the correlation. The bubble was a different scenario. You have to admit that, and there's tons of variables. If you're a math guy, there's tons of variables that you could throw together that says that one does not coincide with the other than the names of the teams and a few players that are still on those respective teams. But we're not going to go into all of that. That's not why we're here. We're here to predict the conference finals and say who we think is going to be in the 2023 NBA Finals. Now, if you haven't checked out my playoff Jokic video, please do. I will link it in here. I also did a tier list of the NBA players in the 2022-2023 season NBA. Most of them are all the All-Star players, so the top 25. I put them in each tier. Check that out if you haven't. Hopefully, I can link it in here at some point. But yeah, just check those out. We're pumping out some stuff. So yeah. But today it's Monday. I always try to post something on Monday, and the perfect time to post my predictions for these conference finals, which I believe are going to be pretty solid. I don't think they're going to let me down. The playoffs so far haven't let me down. Some players and some teams have let me down, but the overall gameplay and the excitement, the quality of basketball has not let me down. So with that said, I only got to pick from two different games, so I definitely got to go 50-50. Let's start with the East Conference Finals. And yesterday, the Boston Celtics punched their ticket into the Eastern Conference Finals, commandingly winning a Game 7 in Boston against the Philadelphia 76ers. Sorry, Doc, but I think you're going to join Monty Williams, Mike Budenholzer, Nick Nurse, and those guys with a pink slip coming up. But anyway, so now we will see the Miami Heat, the number 8 Miami Heat take on the number 2 Boston Celtics. As we've seen, Jimmy Butler and the Miami Heat were able to oust the Milwaukee Bucks, who were the favorites to win it all. Excuse me, and also take down a scrappy Knicks team. So the Miami Heat are for real. I slept on them a little bit, but I knew that they're always with Jimmy Butler, with Eric Spoelstra, they're always going to be a tough out. Now, I didn't think they would get this far. I thought Milwaukee would have a little bit of trouble, but would find ways to win late in most of those games, but they couldn't. It was like Miami had an answer for everything they had, and uh, the Knicks just got out hustled a lot. Julius Randle, Jalen Brunson, they played well, but they just got they got trounced. I mean, those guys played harder, and that's what scares me about this. Boston, I thought, was going to have a much easier time with the 76ers. The Sixers are a good team. Don't get me wrong, but Boston has shown that they are just a slight level above. And that's what I thought we would see in the series. And of course, in the end, we did see that, but not as convincingly as I thought. So, with that said, this is going to be a tough series. I think this might go 7 games, just like the Sixers and Boston series, because these are teams that are scrappy. They're tough, but they have guys that can go cold. They got guys that they're dependent on that may not give them what they need in certain scenarios. Miami has just they probably have been the surprise team of the entire playoffs, and we probably shouldn't because we all know playoff Jimmy Butler is, you know, he wants to be the next Mike. That's how he plays in the playoffs. So we shouldn't be that shocked. They have a strong core pretty much, but they have some guys that are iffy. Bam, he plays well, but he's not always consistent when it comes to the playoffs. And then you have your role players, was it Caleb Martin and a few other guys. You lost Tyler Hero, which is a big loss because he's one of your better shooters. But they've, off sheer will, it seems that they've willed themselves into this position. And you know what? I'm not ready to pull that trigger. I think Boston having home court advantage. I think Boston playing in Boston in the game 7 is going to be tough for Miami. But I think this is going 7 games. I think Boston pulls out a very, very tough revenge tour, I guess you could say, against Miami, who did beat them in the bubble, where we thought Boston was going to, climb to that level. Didn't quite get it. Got there last year. Didn't quite have enough to bring home a chip. This year, I think they're going to make it back. Now, will they do a San Antonio Spurs of 2014? They lost in 2013. They came back strong and dominated. Will Boston do that? I don't know, but I think Boston will get this conference finals. I think it's going 7. I think we're going to see exceptional games from Jimmy Butler. I think some of his role players will step up big in certain moments. I can even see them still in game 1. Just because they're well coached, they've had some rest, and those guys are dogs. But in the end, I think what Tatum, Jaylen Brown, and their tenacious defense, and just their dogs too. So they're 2 teams. You got Robert Williams third out there, Grant Williams when he gets in there. You have Derek White. Excuse me. Al Horford, who's a little up there. He's long in the tooth, but he can still bang it in there. And he can get you some points. And he can get you some rebounds. And he's a veteran player. I think that veteranship and their pedigree being able to get to the finals, just like Miami did. But I think with that core, with all the weapons they have, and with their defense, I think their defense is going to be the difference here. And the dogfight is going to be determined by who plays the better defense, and I have to go with the Boston Celtics having the better defenders all around. So I think they get it done, but I think it goes 7 games. Now, to the Western Conference Finals. Playoff Jokic against LeBron James. LeBron had a stellar performance in the Game 6 against the Warriors. I will give him that. AD has consistently so far been a beast, especially that last round. Had a couple duds, but for the most part, when he was going, there was absolutely nothing the Warriors could do. This, I think, will be a little different. I think their starting lineups match up pretty much tit for tat, where you have Jokic, AD. Well, Lakers been kind of switching up their starting 5, but you have Aaron Gordon. And you have LeBron, you have KCP out there with, I guess they're going to have, I don't know if Schroeder or Lonnie Walker, D'Angelo Russell, Jamal Murray. So, they're starting well. Their core starting lineups, they match up pretty well. And I think for that's going to play a big factor in who's going to get the upper hand. Now, I sung his praises in my video for playoff Jokic, and I think that he does have a chip on his shoulder because of him being pretty much they just gave Embiid the MVP and just put him to the side. before the regular season was even over. And I think he took that and he said, you know what, I'm gonna show you who the true MVP is. He's been a complete destroyer these first two rounds. Now you have the Los Angeles Lakers with some veterans and some top 10 NBA players. Can he do it again? Can he? He got rid of KD and Booker. Sorry about that. The bat phone rang, but Jokic has just been on a tear, and I think that this is going to be his coming out party. I don't want to pick. I picked against the Lakers so much this playoffs that I feel like doing again would just make it seem like I'm just hating now. But I just don't. I just can't. I don't see this Denver team faltering. But I'm going to do it. I'm going to go out on them. The Lakers have been playing well. They have this new core that they're athletic. They run. They get to the foul line somehow. That still baffles me. But people try to explain it. But you should not have 60 more free throws than your opponent. You just shouldn't. There's not that much. There's not that much foul in AAU in high school, not even middle school. That there shouldn't be that wide of a gap when it comes to shooting free throws. But that's just my opinion. What do I know? But anyway, I know basketball, and in a game you shouldn't. Anyway, so that check out the foul disparity, free throw disparity in the series, and that's going to be probably play a pretty good key. The three ball for both are pretty much, I would say, similar. Yoke can shoot it where AD's not really that efficient at it. But the thing about Jokic is he can take over a game, and I want to see if he'll do this here. For some reason, certain superstars, when they get into a series with LeBron James, just kind of fall off a cliff. We've seen it before. We've seen DeMar DeRozan and guys like that, just even Paul George, they would be beasts throughout the regular season. Then they get into a playoff series with LeBron, and it's like they're babies out there. So will Jokic be the next victim? They already had the series a couple years ago in the 2020 bubble. Of course, the Lakers won that. Jokic is 3 years removed from that. Two-time MVP, probably should have won a third in a row. I want to pick the Denver Nuggets, but I'm going to go against my own heart and mind. And I'm going to say the Lakers. And then we're going to have 2 7-game series. I think the Lakers in 7. So I think AD continues. I think he'll struggle some this series, but I think he'll add just enough with LeBron being able to give them and control the games a little bit. And the others, the Austin Reeves, D'Angelo Russells, the Lonnie Walkers, Dennis Schroeders, they're going to give you, even though I feel like Denver does have the better bench, I think all in all, I think what they can do, their attack is just going to be, and their system has just been tough for teams to just overcome. They'll get a game or two, but just being successful against the Lakers multiple games has just not been in the books for any of the teams so far in the playoffs, other than Minnesota, who really blew it against the Lakers. They had their number, but that's in the past. But yeah, so I just think that the Lakers just have a system right now that's working. They get to the foul line. They kind of muck it up to where you don't get to play as freely as you want to because you're sitting on the foul line for so many possessions, and then you have to, it becomes a half court game. You don't get to run out and make this really a full court, just get out and go kind of game. You have to play half court basketball, and are the Denver Nuggets good enough to play solid half court basketball? I think they have the rebounders to not allow AD and LeBron and those guys to just kill them on the boards. Whereas the Warriors had to, rely a lot on Kevon Looney. Here, you have Jokic, you have Aaron Gordon, you have these guys that are quick, and they have some bigger guards in Jamal Murray. So I don't know. I'm gonna still pick the Lakers. I think they're just have it this year, and as much as it hurts me to admit, I think LeBron might be set up to be able to make that huge run from 2 to 10, 13th place all the way to NBA championship. I'm still not ready to crown him, but all signs are leading that way. No team has been able to beat them 3 times. Memphis, nor Golden State, 2 very solid teams. It's on Denver now. So I think this will be a good series. Like I said, I think he'll go 7 games, but I have to go with LeBron James and the Lakers making it to the finals, and our finals being Los Angeles Lakers, Boston Celtics. Big numbers for that. I think it'll be good for the league. Either one. I think the Lakers against the Miami Heat will be good for the league. But I think one of those are the likely scenario. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comment section. Please like and subscribe if you enjoy this content. It just helps me know that people are enjoying it. Yeah, so I will be back throughout the week to give my 2 cents. I want to do something about Chris Paul because I just feel like he is cursed. And I'm going to probably do a little short video on the sad state of Chris Paul. So I hope you guys are enjoying these playoffs. Hope you're ready to get the popcorn, get the chicken wings, whatever, for this upcoming conference finals. And just enjoy. So see you guys back here soon. Take it easy.